We're heading into a cold snap for the next week or so, so definitely time to fire up the stove. And while I was at it, I thought I would try out these stove fans. As you can see, my stove is recessed into the chimney breast, and the reasoning behind these stove fans is that the air that gets trapped in the recess then gets blown out into the room. I was very surprised at just how quickly the fan started, though it was turning quite slowly to start with until the stove properly heated up. So I'm burning high quality, very dry eucalyptus. I found some dry eucalyptus logs and they're just amazing firewood fuel. This stove is turned pretty much down to level 1, so the amount of air that's being allowed through is probably around 25% of the maximum. And as you can see, very warm, glowing fire. I've been taking temperature readings continuously while I've been burning this firewood, and if it's dry firewood, say whether it's eucalyptus or I've also burnt willow, then generally in the 30 to 40 degrees with, as I say, 25% of the air being allowed through. I burnt some moderately dry Griselina the other day, and this barely got to 20 degrees C. So the difference between dry and wet firewood is just phenomenal. There's another factor for the particular setup in this house, in that it's very open plan. So this is the other side of the chimney breast, and what I've found is the heat doesn't actually go up the chimney if I don't have a fan pushing it out into the room. What generally happens is it heats up the chimney breast as well, and that continues to give out heat long after the fire's gone out. So essentially a huge block storage radiator. This open plan area has a very high vaulted ceiling, and I have to say that nothing takes the chill off this house better than lighting the stove, providing of course that's dry firewood. The fan does, it's pretty reasonable considering there's no batteries, it's just being powered from the heat from the stove. One comment I saw in a few other reviews was that they were pretty much silent. And yeah, if I was sitting on the sofa, it's very doubtful if I would hear much noise from it. So yeah, I'm happy to recommend this, especially if you have a situation that isn't quite like mine, where there's no reason for you to heat up a chimney breast. Perhaps the chimney breast backs out onto the gable end of the cottage, in which case you absolutely want the hot air to be blown in. So yeah, this fan works fine, but it does whir. If you stand reasonably close to it, then yes, it's audible. I had a couple of emails from someone who was concerned that their neighbour was burning eucalyptus and white smoke was coming out of the chimney. I think they were more concerned about the fact that the neighbour was planting eucalyptus next to their house. From what I could see, it was a fabulous eucalyptus plantation, so fair play to the planter. Anyways, as you can see from the inset, yes, when you initially start burning eucalyptus in your stove, when you first light it up, then white smoke does come out the chimney. But that's the same with pretty much most wood fuels and Here's an experiment for you to try. Bung a load of newspapers into your stove and light that, and then come out and see what colour the smoke is. If you plant fast-growing eucalyptus, you will harvest very high quality, sustainable, carbon neutral firewood fuel in as little as 4 years. Thanks a mil for watching. Good luck.